Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning. The Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City proceedings will begin. The board is now in session. As we call your name and case, please approach the bench at that time. Mr. Chairman, preliminary matters on the docket. Case number 94001 Falls Road. This matter has been postponed and will be rescheduled for a later date and time. Slovaki, 1101 West 36th Street. This is a Class B beer, wine, and liquor license. An application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license under Article 12-1603, small c, number 1, small I, requiring $200,000 in capital investment in restaurant fixtures and facilities, 40% food sales, seating capacity for a minimum of 75 people, but not more than 150 individuals, requesting outdoor table service, off-premise catering, and delivery of alcoholic beverages. Please come forward, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning. Counsel?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Stephen W. Fogelman on behalf of the applicant.
Good morning. Do you want to proffer this?
I sure do. You should have some information in the file. There's a cost estimate of over $350,000. Not all of that is good to go under the statute, like legal fees and stuff, but it's well over the $200,000 capital investment requirement. Mr. Taramis has a long history in the industry, as does his son Demetrius. He has been involved in many establishments, including current Souvlaki, which doesn't have a liquor license. They anticipate 70 to 80% food to alcohol ratio. This is obviously a food-centric place. It's for customer convenience. It's an adult clientele. And Mr. Taramis will be alcohol management certified. He may already be. And we'd submit on that. They've provided a nice service to the community for almost 10 years with no disturbances, and they'd like to level the competitive playing field and be able to offer a beer or a glass of wine to their customers. I thank you.
Okay.
You got the support letters from?
No, we don't have any support letters.
No,
Support letters?
we have not. Do you have anything you want to submit?
All right. Yeah, I was under the impression that there was support from Hamden Community Council and...
We don't have them.
Okay.
Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
No question.
No questions.
Okay. And so this is an operation that's been ongoing for some time, and they just want to add the liquor license to it.
That's correct.
And the outdoor table service and catering and all of that has been part of their operation.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, thank you. On the basis of the materials contained in the application, the proffer from council, the exhibits which have been received, including the certificate of completion for Mr. Taramis, menu and other things, I would vote to approve the application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license with outdoor table service, off-premises catering, and delivery of alcoholic beverages. Commissioners?
Based upon the application, the proffer, and the exhibits, I too would approve this application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license with outdoor table service, off-premises catering, and the delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Based on the testimony and materials provided today, I also approve the application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license and a request for outdoor table service, off-premise catering, and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Thank you, Commissioners,
Russell?
Your Honor.
Let me call exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, alcohol awareness. Board Exhibit 2, menu.
Thank you, and good luck
Thank
to you,
you.
Mr. Taramis.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Poppy's Taco, Lauraville, 4801 Harford Road, Suite H1. Class B, beer, wine, and liquor license. An application for a new Class B, beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license under Article 12-1603, small c, number 1, small I, and 12-1609B1, requiring $500,000 in capital investment in restaurant fixtures and facilities, and a seating capacity for a minimum of 125 people. Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, this is in two-part. Pursuant to 12-1609, small e, the board may waive the minimum capital investment requirement and the minimum seating capacity requirement under 12-1603B1 if the board holds a public meeting, at which time the board reviews the business practice of the license holder and determines that the license holder is in good standing and has a reputable business practice. Please come forward, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Would you raise your right hand, please?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
I do.
Would you state your name for the record?
Charles Jurdy.
Hi. Are you testifying
partner.
as well? Yes. Raise your right hand, please.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you? Thank you.
And your name, ma'am?
Carrie Puddles.
Okay. Morning. You want to tell us about this operation?
Yeah, so Carrie and I are partners with several restaurants here in the city, one of them being Poppy's Tacos, which we opened 8 years ago in Fells Point. We've since opened another location in Hamden, one in Towson, and we just opened this summer in Ocean City. So we are trying to continue the expansion a little bit and go to Lauraville is our next spot. And basically the operation will be run exactly the same as all our other operations. With, we try to, we're a big part of being a part of a neighborhood because we are in Fells Point, we're in Hamden and even Towson. So we take the neighborhood into consideration with everything we do. Our food to liquor sales is usually 70% food, 30% liquor. So I think it's a pretty good mix.
Have you had any violations at any of your locations?
We've had 2 violations at not the Poppy's locations, but the Wicked Sisters and Alexander's Tavern, 2 other places that we operate.
Okay. And how long ago were they?
A couple of years ago.
Before COVID, I think a year before COVID.
Are they sales minor things?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And have you gotten letters from us since then that things are okay?
We've gotten 1 letter, yeah, saying that we passed, yeah.
Okay.
We do like serve safe for everybody now. Like we were just doing the managers originally, but now we do all of our key players, all the bartenders, all the managers, all go through serve safe and liquor training.
Okay. We have a letter dated August 10 from Tanisha Jones at the Moravia Welfare Improvement Association. They say they want to talk to you before they will offer their support. So are you willing to engage with them?
Yeah, we actually had a conversation with Sue Kessel from the Walterson Neighborhood Association, and she said they were going to send a letter of approval over.
This may be a different association, I'm not sure, but would you commit to meeting with Ms. Jones and this association?
For sure, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And you're requesting the waiver, is that correct?
For
the investment amount and the number of seats?
the investment is not going to be an issue because it's going to be over $750,000. The seating honestly would be tight at 125. I provided a layout to you guys that shows 125, but if we could get down to 110, that would be a lot more suitable. I don't know if that's a thing, but
Anything further, Commissioners?
No questions.
No questions.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Jurdy and Ms. Pottles. Is it Pottles?
Puddles, yep.
Yes. All right. On the basis of the materials contained in your application, the exhibit received, the testimony received, first of all, I'd make a finding that based on your good standing and the fact that you've run a reputable business practice at your other locations throughout these years, that I would waive both the investment minimum and the seating minimum. And I would approve the application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license. Commissioners?
Based upon the application and the testimony, and finding that in your other Poppy's Tacos establishments, you have no history of violations. The 2 you mentioned were for a different license. However, all of your establishments are active and in good standing. There have been no history whatsoever of 311 calls for these establishments. And the board has inspected you in these establishments multiple times and you've passed. For those reasons, I would find that you do in fact operate as a reputable business practice and would agree with the chairman to waive the investment and seating requirements, and I would therefore approve this application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license.
Okay, with the good standings, I also waived the investment and seating requirements, and also based on testimony and materials provided today, I approve the application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license.
Ms. Russell?
I'd like to call the exhibits for the record. Sorry, give me 1 second. Board Exhibit number 1, letter from Moravia Walther Improvement Association.
Thank you. Good luck to you, folks.
Thanks, guys.
you very
Appreciate it.
Fat Patties, 1724 Whetstone Way, Class B, beer, wine, and liquor license. Amended application for a new Class B, beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license under Article 12-1604, small c, 1V, and 12-1609, small b. Number 1, requiring $500,000 in capital investment in restaurant fixtures and facilities, and a seating capacity for a minimum of 125 people. Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, this is in two-part pursuant to Article 12-1609, small e. The board may waive the seating capacity and the capital investment if the boards hold a meeting and determine that the licensee has operated in good standing and has a reputable business practice. The applicant is also requesting live entertainment, outdoor table service, off-premise catering, and delivery of alcoholic beverages. Please come forward.
Counsel?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. David F. Mister, Mr. Winter, and Bartlett representing the applicant. If I may proffer initially, this applicant, an entity, I believe, qualifies for this license under two different ways. One, he is an existing licensee in Baltimore City. That is Kevin Curley, Region Ale, about 2.5 years now, no violations. He also has been a longer-term Class B licensee in Howard County, no violations there, also as a Region Ale location. However, we've also presented the board with an appraisal from Jonathan Melnick, Auctioneers and Appraisers, dated May 18, indicating that the capital investment exclusive of the cost of land and building is over $1 million. Exactly $1,012,500 to be exact. And hopefully that is in the board's file, was sent.
Do we have that, Ms. Russell?
It's not been submitted to the agency at this time.
Okay. I guess it came in after we got ours. Okay.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
All right. It will be received. Thank you.
Thank you. As I've indicated, Mr. Curley is an existing licensee in Baltimore City, no violations. And I'd just like him to testify about what the concept's going to be, what they hope to do. This is a new concept by the Green Turtle Franchising Corporation, which is the parent company. Mr. Curley is going to be consulting and helping them operate this new location. Kevin,
May we swear him?
yes.
Please raise your right hand.
Hi, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
Yes.
Go ahead.
The things I proffered to the board about your experience and licensure are accurate, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, will you please describe for the board what the concept's going to be at this location?
Sure. So Fat Patties is a smash burger, beef fat fries, and beer concept. The World of Beer location we were going in has been sitting empty since COVID. We thought this was just a perfect concept for the community. They've really been wanting something to come in that location. There was 50 beer taps sitting there when we got in. We're going to use those, 30 of which will be beer. We'll have some cocktails on tap, wine, and craft sodas. So it's really kind of a higher end version of Shake Shack, if you will, but a very family-friendly restaurant. Shouldn't have any issues with alcohol service or anything like that. We would assume it'd be 70 to 75% food sales.
And those who will be handling the alcohol will be certified?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Curley, this project would be, if the board approves, it's going to be in McHenry Row, a development that has there, besides World Beer, which had been here previously and held a license, there's two other alcoholic beverage licensed restaurants in that center. Is that
yes.
correct?
Iron Rooster and Samos.
And there's also a very large regional supermarket there. Is that correct?
Harris Teeter, yep.
Okay. And you find, because this is in the Fort Avenue, Fort McHenry area, there's a number of residences nearby where people tend to come there and shop and dine who live right in that community. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, I actually live right down the road, so I'm a local community member.
Okay. And can you tell us how many employees you anticipate having to start out?
Probably between 25 and 30 employees.
Okay. And as the chair has asked you, you're going to have your servers, those who serve alcohol, to be alcohol awareness trained, correct?
Correct, yes.
And what are your standard hours of operation going to be?
Sunday through Thursday will be 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. And then Friday, Saturday, we plan to stay open until midnight.
Will you periodically have meetings with the management staff and servers to remind them of their obligations to make sure everyone's of appropriate age to purchase alcoholic beverages and that they cannot serve anybody visibly under the influence of alcohol?
Yes, we will.
Anything further?
Nothing further.
Commissioners?
Yeah, my question is, I know Locust Point has a very strong community association.
Yes.
Have you been in touch with
Yes,
them? or
I was
talked to
in
them?
touch with, sorry, let me bring her name up. Kate McComsky of the Locust Point Civic Association gave thumbs up approval. I was also in touch with Kevin Lynch, South Beemore, and Rich Badmington of the Riverside Neighborhood Association. And then Mark Saperstein, obviously one of the biggest land developers in Baltimore City, full approval.
Mr. Saperstein is the principal of the shopping center owner.
Anything else?
Good.
You
Thank
have
you,
anything
Mr.
else?
Chair.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
On the basis then of the materials contained in the application, the exhibit which has been received, proffer from counsel and testimony received, I'm going to make a finding that based on your good standing and your reputable business practices, that you qualify for the waiver of the minimum investment and seating requirements. And so I would grant those, and I would approve the amended application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license with live entertainment, outdoor table service, off-premise catering, and delivery of alcoholic beverages. Commissioners?
Based upon the application, the proffer and the testimony and the exhibit, I too would make a finding that this is a reputable business practice, no history of violations at your current location, active and in good standing according to SDAT, no 311 call history, and you've been inspected 3 times and have been found in compliance. With that, I would waive the investment and seating requirements for this license and approve the amended application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license with live entertainment, outdoor table service, off-premise catering, and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Mr. Chair, question is that we're also waiving the capital investment, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I did. I mean, it's up to you.
Okay, just
I think
wanna-
they meet it anyway.
I just want to make sure. Since you're in good standings, I approve the waiver for the seating composition, also the capital investment. And based on the testimony materials provided today, I also approve the amended application for a new Class beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license, and also the request for live entertainment, outdoor table service, off-premise catering, and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Ms. Russell?
I'd call exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, capital investment breakdown.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Curley, good luck.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board.
101 North Schroeder Street, Suite 4, Class A beer and wine license. Amended application to transfer ownership and location of a Class A beer and wine license presently located at 3000 Windsor Avenue to 101 North Schroeder Street, Suite 4. Please come forward.
Good morning, counsel.
Good morning. Caroline Hecker, Rosenberg Martin, on behalf of the applicant. I'm joined by my associate, Drew Tilden, as well as the individual licensee applicants. Why don't you guys come stand over here? I have with me Mr. Rice, who is our Baltimore City licensee applicant, Mr. Knight, and Mr. Miner, who are the owners of Market Fresh Gourmet.
Can I ask them to raise their right hands, please, in case we questions for them?
Hi, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you?
Okay, gentlemen, if you come to testify, come up and state your name, but go ahead, Ms. Becker.
I'd like to proceed by way of a proffer, and then they're certainly available to answer any questions that the board may have. I did submit a memorandum of law by email a day or two ago to the board. I don't know if you've had a chance to read it, but it has a handful of exhibits attached to it that I'll explain as I go through the discussion here today. This is an amended application to transfer ownership and location of a Class A beer and wine license. It was last in operation at 3000 Windsor Avenue. It was one of the non-conforming liquor stores in residential areas that was forced to close with the enactment of Transform Baltimore. And so they've sold their license to Market Fresh for use in the Poppleton project at Center West. That project is a 33-acre mixed-use development. It's an $800 million project that was approved by City Council ordinance in 2007 as a PUD. The PUD specifically authorizes a packaged goods store in this location, and there's a copy of the PUD as one of the exhibits to the memo that I submitted. The project includes almost 300 rental residential units and 1,200 residential homeownership units, 20% of which are proposed to be for affordable housing, as well as a couple 100,000 square feet of commercial space. Within this large project, Market Fresh Gourmet is proposing to open a small boutique grocery store. It's an 8,000 square foot space that'll sell produce, florals, meat, poultry, seafood, specialty cheeses, and they propose to have a small, separately segregated beer and wine component, which is in a separate, has a separate entrance off to the side of the main grocery store. And there's a floor plan that you'll see as one of the exhibits in the file. But you'll note that the portion of the store that will be dedicated to the sale of beer and wine is under 500 square feet. It's very small. But the layout is similar to what you would see at Eddie's of Roland Park or Eddie's of Mount Vernon, where you have a small beer and wine component associated with the grocery store. Originally, the board approved the application to transfer this license to this location for a different operator called Uncorked at Poppleton last September. Originally, what was proposed was that Market Fresh and Uncorked were going to operate two separate operations next to each other within this building. They were both proposing to use New Market Tax Credit and Opportunity Zone financing, but as they dug into the financing aspect of it, discovered that Uncorked would not be eligible for either type of financing because its business would be engaged primarily in the sale of alcoholic beverages. As a result, it was determined that Market Fresh would just take over that operation and operate the beer and wine component as an amenity to the grocery store. So we've amended the pending transfer application, which had not yet been completed, in order to propose to transfer the license to Market Fresh in lieu of Uncorked. The beer and wine component will operate from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. The grocery is likely to have longer hours, but because the beer and wine store will have separate, totally separate entrances, its operations can be shortened to a set of hours that the community has agreed with. They'll end up creating 6 to 7 full and part-time jobs, which they hope will be local hires. We've met extensively with the local community associations, including the Poppleton Now Community Association, Poppleton Neighbors, the Newtown of the Terraces Tenants Association, the Union Square Association, and the Franklin Square Community Association, all of whom have submitted letters of support, which are attached as, I think, Exhibit G in the packet that I had submitted. Market Fresh will require that every customer provide a photo identification prior to the sale of alcoholic beverages. Their point of sale system will require the salesperson to enter the date of birth of the customer into the system to ensure that all customers purchasing alcoholic beverages are over the age of 21. Mr. Miner and Mr. Knight, two of our individual licensee applicants, are both TIP certified. Mr. Miner previously served on the liquor license for National Harbor, so he does have experience operating a liquor license. And as I mentioned, Mr. Rice is our Baltimore City licensee applicant. And all three of the individual licensee applicants are familiar with the rules and regulations of the Liquor Board, and they all agree to abide by them. So I had submitted a memorandum of law for your review in advance. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to read it yet, but the gist of it is that the state law prohibits, as I'm sure you know, the issuance of a license to supermarkets, discount houses, and chain stores. And I want to be clear that what is proposed here doesn't fall within that prohibition. There's Market Fresh is not something that would be considered a supermarket. It is an 8,000 square foot, very small boutique grocery store, independently owned, not a chain store. The language of what formerly was Article 2B is now the alcoholic beverages article. They use the term grocery store in other contexts. A license is specifically authorized for grocery stores in a couple of counties. It's prohibited in Garrett County for a grocery store, but it's clear that a grocery store and a supermarket are something different under the code. And in fact, when the legislation was initially enacted in 1962, there was originally language proposed that would have included a prohibition on the issuance of licenses to any store that also sells food. That was stricken during the legislative process, which I think indicates to me that the legislature didn't intend to prohibit the issuance of a license to all stores that sell food, but they wanted to prohibit the issuance of a license to big stores like supermarkets and chain operations. And that prohibition is consistent with the overarching theme of the article, which is very protectionist for small businesses. It really protects small independent operators. It gives individual licensee establishments a whole bunch of rights, to contest other licenses. The board's required to consider the effect on other licensees when they're issuing a license. And the theme that you see throughout the article is that these large operations like supermarkets or chain stores would have the potential to monopolize the market and drive out small businesses. That's not what's proposed here with this license. A small grocery, a small independent boutique grocery of 8,000 square feet that has a 500 square foot beer and wine component is in no way going to threaten the market or has any risk of monopolizing the alcoholic beverages market. And so I don't think that this store falls within the overarching prohibition on the issuance of licenses to supermarkets, chain stores, and discount houses. So I wanted to make that clear in the memo.
Question about
Please,
that.
yeah.
So there's been legislation submitted in the last couple of sessions to permit, is that addressing only supermarkets, that legislation?
Yes. So the legislation that you've probably read about it in the newspaper would allow like a Harris Teeter or a Wegmans or a Safeway to hold a liquor license, which that I think is pretty clearly prohibited under the law right now.
Okay. And you draw this distinction. Okay. Commissioners have questions?
It's interesting. It reminds me of the time I had a deposition where I had to make the case that calzone was different from pizza.
Well, it is, clearly.
It is,
I
right?
mean.
But it's interesting, and in some ways, my initial thought is it addresses some of the food desert issue.
Absolutely.
The grocery store, and so it's very, very innovative.
It's actually something that our commission has been supporting for a long time because we want to see these locations have access to groceries as well as liquor. Go ahead.
Do you have a date for the residents of Poppleton, a date where they will open up if everything's passed?
I think they're planning to open this fall. Is that correct? That's still early November.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anything further, Ms. Hecker?
Not unless you have other
All right.
questions.
On the basis of the materials contained in the application and on the basis of the exhibit, which includes Ms. Hecker's memorandum of law in support of the application and the exhibits attached thereto, and the proffer from counsel and any testimony received, I vote to approve the amended application to transfer ownership and location of a Class A beer wine license presently located at 3000 Windsor Avenue to 101 North Schroeder Street, Suite 4.
Based upon the application, the memorandum of law, and the proffer from Ms. Hecker, I too would approve the amended application to transfer ownership and location of this Class A beer and wine license presently located at 3000 Windsor Avenue to 101 North Schroeder Street, Suite 4.
Yes, based on the testimony and materials provided today, I also approve the amended application to transfer ownership and location of a Class A beer and wine license presently located at 3000 Windsor Avenue to 101 North Schroeder Street, Suite 4.
Ms. Russell?
Board Exhibit 1, business plan.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Hecker, and good luck to you folks. Hope this works well.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
401 South High Street. This is a Class BD7 license. 410 South High.
Thank you.
This is an application to transfer ownership and location of a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license presently located at 408 South High Street to 410 South High Street, requesting live entertainment, outdoor table service, and delivery of alcoholic beverages. Please come forward.
Council, good morning.
Abraham Hurdle on behalf of Pana Vino, Inc. With me is Mr. Is it Fracassetti?
Gianfranco Fracassetti.
Gianfranco Fracassetti. Buongiorno.
As the application indicates, this is a transfer from 408 to 410. 410 is currently an Italian restaurant. It will continue to be an Italian restaurant. Its operations will change mildly. We are asking for live entertainment. It has been a staple of their operations, and they're seeking to have live entertainment till 11 p.m. That's when the cutoff would be. We haven't determined a closing time. This isn't a place that's a 2 a.m. kind of closing type of place, but it is a situation where sometimes people will have parties and some sort of events where they'll go later, and we want to have the option to stay open later. Mr. Fracassetti has 13 years of experience at 410, and he has 25 years of experience in the restaurant business. He said he started at 14 in Italy in the business. So he has more experience in that business than I guess some people in the room have just been alive. He is aware that he has to order from wholesalers. He's aware that he cannot serve underage minors. I believe currently the operations, all staff that handle alcohol have alcohol awareness certified. That is his plan to continue that going forward. And to probably retrain everyone annually just to make sure, given that area's strong tourist nature. If the board has any questions, I'd be happy to address those at this time.
Where in Italy?
Bergamo. It's 1 hour from Milan.
I see. Do you have any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hurdle. On the basis of the materials contained in the application, the proffer from council, and the materials received, I would vote to approve the application to transfer ownership and location of this Class BD7 beer, wine, liquor license presently located at 408 South High Street to 410 South High Street with live entertainment, outdoor table service, and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Based upon the application, the proffer from Mr. Hurdle, I too would approve the application to transfer ownership and location of this Class BD7 license presently located at 408 South High Street to 410 South High Street with live entertainment, outdoor table service, and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Based on the testimony and materials provided today, I also vote to approve the application to transfer ownership and location of a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license presently located at 408 South High Street to 410 South High Street, and requesting live entertainment, outdoor table service, and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
And we're going to take you at your word that you're going to stop the live entertainment at 11 p.m., right?
Thank you very much.
Okay, Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Good day. Thank you.
Okay.
4905 Frankfurt Avenue. This is a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license, here for an application to transfer ownership. Please come forward.
Good morning, sir. Would you raise your right hand, please?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
What is your name, sir?
My name is Neem Sahani.
Can you speak into the microphone a little louder, please?
My name is Neem Sahani.
Good morning. Do you want to tell us about this?
No, I just...
Well, tell us a little bit about you. You want to take over this license, is that correct?
Yeah, I've been working in the liquor store since 2013. It's been 10 years, almost 10 years. So it is time to upgrade. So
You've been working there since 2013, you said?
Yeah, it's been 10 years. It's around, yeah.
About 10 years. And are you certified to handle alcohol?
Yes.
Okay. And are you the only one who's going to be handling the alcohol?
Yes.
So it's going to be a one-person operation?
Oh, yeah, she's sick right now, so that's why I couldn't bring her.
I didn't hear what you just said.
She's sick right now. That's why I couldn't bring her over here.
Okay. Oh, she is ill, you said.
Other.
Ms. Sharma?
Yeah, Pushpa Sharma.
Okay. Is she also certified?
She's also certified.
Okay. And you understand our rules and regulations?
Yeah, I know.
You know that you can't sell to minors, you have to card people, can only buy from wholesalers, and follow all our other rules and regulations?
Yeah, I know everything. So, not to sell the minor.
Okay, now this location did have a sale to minor about 2 years ago, when you were working there. Were you involved with that?
Yeah, I was manager over there, so I wasn't over there when they're selling. So I was normally I manage a two-store. One is Clubhouse, which is located at Ardman Avenue. So I wasn't there.
So you were not at the Frankfurt Avenue, you were at the Erdman Avenue at that time?
No, I managed both store.
Oh, okay. All right, well, you know that we look very carefully about those sales to minors, so you have to be very attentive to that, right? Make
Yes.
sure that you're carding everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioners have questions?
No question.
No questions.
All right, thank you. On the basis of the materials contained in the application, the testimony from Mr. Shani, I would vote to approve this application to transfer ownership of this Class A beer, wine, and liquor license.
Based upon the application, the testimony, I too would vote to approve the transfer of ownership of this license.
Based on testimony and materials provided today, I also approve the application to transfer ownership of the A beer, wine, and liquor license located at 4905 Frankfurt Avenue.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Shani. Good luck.
6506-10 Harford Road. This is a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license, an application to transfer ownership, request and delivery of alcoholic beverages. Please come forward.
Morning, council.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. This will be a request for continuance. We just found out the co-applicant is not able to attend today, so we are requesting a continuance, so we may.
Can we set this back in, Mr. Page?
We can, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. I'll grant you the continuance, and we'll have it on the next docket that we can do it,
Thank you.
okay?
2701 West Fairmont Avenue, Class BD7, beer, wine, and liquor license, an application to transfer ownership. Please come forward.
Yes, good afternoon, or good morning, Your Honor, Commissioners. Stephen W. Fogel on behalf of applicant who's present.
Would you raise your right hand, ma'am, please?
Hi. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you?
I do.
Thank you.
Mr. Fogelman?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. This is the old Starlight Lounge at 2701 West Fairmount Avenue. The current owner is retiring. She's elderly. Ms. Wilson has admired this place for 2 decades now and is friendly with the sellers. She would like to name it the L Spot. It's BD7 and with no amenities, with no extras. She has been alcohol management certified. She understands the gravity of the rules and regulations of the Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City, specifically with respect to public safety and public disturbances and underage sale to minors.
Ms. Wilson, why do you want to take over this place?
I grew up on that block.
Oh.
So I lived at 2716, and that's 2701. So my family, friends, we all know it. So Miss Shirley Ball is like my grandmother. It's just a part of me. It's been in our community forever. She had it since 1976, I think. And she came to me, and I just said I would love to take it over.
Okay. And do you work in another field other than this?
I do real estate.
Okay. So you want another headache, is that what you?
It's probably going to be a headache, but I'm going to love it.
Okay.
The community is happy about it. They all was like, do it. So I'm like, I'm going to do this.
All right.
Her servers will be alcohol management certified as well as she.
Okay. Commissioners?
No question.
A statement, so it's in your blood.
The establishment is, yes, it is.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. Fogel, on the basis of materials contained in the application, your proffer and the testimony received, I vote to approve the application to transfer ownership of this BG7 beer, wine, and liquor license. Commissioners?
Based upon the application, the proffer, and the testimony, I too would approve the application to transfer ownership of this BD7 license.
Yes, based on testimony and materials provided today, I also approve the application to transfer ownership of the BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license.
Thank you.
Good luck
Thank
to you.
you
Ms.
so
Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
All right, thank you. You too.
5517 Harford Road, Class BD7, beer, wine, and liquor license. An application to transfer ownership with continuation of outdoor table service, requesting off-premise catering, and delivery of alcoholic beverages. Please come forward.
I ask them to raise their right hands, please. Sir?
Over here. Hi, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
Mr. Fogelman?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Commissioner Stephen W. Fogelman on behalf of the applicants. We have Sushma Karki standing to my right, and to her right is Larry Lair. Mr. Lair worked for Department of Public Works from 1978 to 2021, and Ms. Karki has a varied background in accounting, in education as a student, and also working for her husband's, assisting her husband's license in Baltimore County. He's got a Class A license up there. They are, Ms. Karki is alcohol management certified, as will her servers be. Mr. Lair is simply serving as a city resident and will not be getting alcohol management certified. I have two letters, one from the Hamilton Community Association, the other from Hamilton Main Street, Lauraville, dated July 27th and 18, respectively. Do you have those in the file?
I don't know if we do.
You don't? Okay, that's weird. All right, then I will just describe the letter from July 27th to Douglas K. Page, Executive Secretary, in support of this application. Dear Mr. Page, I'm writing to you concerning the liquor license transfer application 5517 Hartford Road. This location on Hartford Road is within the area covered by our community association. The people who own and will be managing the business met with area community association leaders. They also presented at our June 2022 community association meeting that was widely promoted to our neighborhood as well as adjacent communities. Residents seemed excited about the type of business that they described to us. They answered all questions thoughtfully and completely. Our members voted to support the license transfer with the condition that the owners sign an MOU with the community association. The owners are agreeable to that. We are confident the MOU will be executed before the business opens. We ask that you grant the transfer request. Thank you in advance for your assistance in this matter. Respectfully, Ann Yastrzemski, President, Hamilton Community Association. Further letter of support dated July 18th, 2022, addressed to via email stacy.russell, baltimorecity.gov, and the Honorable Albert J. Matriciani, Jr. This is application for transfer ownership. Dear Chairman Matriciani, I write as the Executive Director of the Hamilton Lauraville Main Street Organization to express HLMS's enthusiastic support for the issuance of a liquor license to the above-named applicant, including support for the request for outdoor table service delivery of alcoholic beverages and off-premises catering. By way of background, HLMS is a not-for-profit program that was worked for over a decade to assist existing businesses, bring in new businesses, facilitate facade grant for businesses and commercial property owners, and improve streetscaping, among many other activities. Our mission is to help Main Street businesses and our community thrive by creating opportunities for local businesses, the lifeblood of the community, and providing quality of life experiences that retain residents and attract new neighbors. We have met with the proposed owners, introduced them to the community, and learned about their excellent reputation from others in the city. HLMS supports the issuance of this license because we believe it will help this exciting new restaurant and tavern thrive on our Main Street and benefit the surrounding community as a result. Thank you for your consideration. Very truly yours, Daniel P. Doty, Executive Director.
Does Ms. Karki agree that she's going to execute an MOU with Hamilton Community Association?
Yes.
And
Yes.
that
So we'd ask
terms
that
of that could be part of her license?
We'd ask that you approve the transfer pending the receipt of an MOU that will in fact be attached to the license.
All right, commissioners have questions?
No questions.
No question.
All right, thank you, Mr. Fogman. On the basis of the materials contained in the application, as well as the two letters of support just received, and the proffer that there will be an MOU and that its terms will become part of the license to the extent that they're enforceable by law, I vote to approve the application to transfer ownership and continuation of outdoor table service, off-premises catering, and delivery of alcoholic beverages. Commissioner?
Based upon the application, the proffer, and the letters of support, I too would approve the transfer of ownership with continuation of outdoor table service, off-premise catering, and delivery of alcoholic beverages, subject to the terms of the MOU to the extent they're enforceable by law.
Based on testimony and materials provided today, I also approve the application to transfer ownership with continuation of outdoor table service and request of off-premise catering and delivery of alcoholic beverage with the MOU. And that MOU is with what community association, if I may ask?
It's the Hamilton Community
Hamilton?
Association. Yes.
Formerly Glenham Belhar Community Association, so I think it's a nice change. Good brand.
Ms. Russell?
I'd like to call exhibits for the record. Letter of support from Hamilton Community Association dated July 27th, and letter of support from Hamilton, Main Street, Laurelville, dated July 18th, 2022.
All right, thank you, Ms. Fogelman. Good luck, Ms. Karki.
Thank you. I'll step down. Thanks. Thank you.
3728 Hudson Street. Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. An application to transfer ownership with continuation of outdoor table service, requesting off-premise catering. Please come forward.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Sean Harvey, 309 South Conkling Street, Baltimore 21224 for the applicant, Lady Lyle LLC. To my right is Lisa Potts. She's the managing member of that LLC. I'd like to advise the board at this time that Jason Lyle is not able to be present today. He's a minority member of the LLC. Actually won't be taking any part in the operations of the business, but he has COVID, could not attend today.
Okay, you want to proffer for us?
Yes, thank you. This is a very popular restaurant and tavern in Brewers Hill. Miss Lyle, Miss Potts has been the general manager of this restaurant for the last 2 years. She's been working in the restaurant business since she was 17. I'd like to offer for exhibits 2 menus that.
Thank you.
One is the regular menu and one is the weekend brunch menu. Miss Lyle has been, as I said, in the business of restaurants since she was 17 years old. She's been at this particular restaurant since 2019. She's been the manager first, and now she's a general manager. And never had any problems. They have 20 employees, and they do have workers' comp insurance as required. She told me the other day that there are 3 of her employees have been alcohol awareness trained. She intends to have everyone alcohol awareness trained who's going to handle alcohol. I'd also like to submit to the board 2 letters of recommendation. One is from the Brewers Hill Neighbors Association, of which Ms. Potts is a member, and also one from the Southeast Community Relations Council, both with glowing recommendations that this license be transferred.
Okay. I know for the record, there's been no violations at this location.
No.
So, commissioners have any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
All right, thank you, Mr. Harvey. On the basis then of the materials contained in the application, the submissions that will be received this morning, and your proffer with respect to Ms. Potts and her experience, I vote to approve the application to transfer ownership of this BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license with continued outdoor table service and off-premises catering. Commissioners?
Based upon the application, the proffer for Mr. Harvey, the letters of support from the community associations, I too would approve this application to transfer ownership with continuation of outdoor table service and off-premise catering.
Based on the testimony provided today, I also approve the application to transfer ownership with continuation of outdoor table service and a request for off-premise catering.
Ms.
Thank you,
Russell?
Commissioners.
Exhibits for the record, Board Exhibit 1, menu, total of 2. Number 2, letter of support from Brewers Hill Community Association, and 3, letter of support from Southeastern Community Relation Council.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey. Good luck, Ms. Potts.
1229 Hall Street. Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. An application to transfer ownership with continuation of live entertainment, requesting off-premise catering and delivery of alcoholic beverages. Please come forward.
Yes, good morning still. Stephen W. Fogelman on behalf of the applicant, Colby Grafton Smith.
Are those going to testify? Raise your right hands, please.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
I do.
Yes, Mr. Clark.
Thank you, Your Honor, Commissioners. Mr. Smith has plans for a restaurant and a food incubator, which he's going to talk to you about in a minute. But I want to just give you another late notice. The applicant met with the Community Association last night, Locust Point Civic Association, and spoke to the group, including the individuals here whose names I don't know. And I have an email sent to Nicholas Blendy, Stacy Russell, and myself from Kate McComiskey, of the president of the Locust Point Civic Association, saying, "Good morning, all." This is written today at 10:40. I apologize for sending this so close to the 10:30 deadline. I wanted to write a brief note to you all following last night's Locust Point Civic Association meeting. The applicants joined the LPCA meeting last night to discuss their plans with the community. The community is generally very supportive of the concept and thus of the transfer of the license. However, I will note that the community is not yet supportive of the application for outdoor seating. It was discussed last night that such application would be withdrawn until further community conversations and collaboration can occur. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you, Kate McComiskey. So while not documented in evidence for you, that email has been sent to the board. It was obviously a meeting last night that didn't end until 8:30 or something. So, yeah, and obviously it's volunteer position. So we're just grateful that we had that meeting and
I
this.
don't see an outdoor seating part of the application, is there?
I don't either.
Huh?
What I have is an application.
Yeah, whatever they had before is whatever I applied for here.
Is for live entertainment, off-premises catering.
Yeah, let me look
and
at their
delivery of alcohol.
UNO.
I'm looking at the application, it's not marked.
Well, it looks like
Yeah,
it's,
yeah, we have continued use tavern.
Took it off.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, the application that was filed with the agency does not request outdoor table service.
Yes, you'd have to add that later if you could reach some agreement.
Yeah, okay.
An application made to zoning does not include requests for outdoor table service.
Yeah, so we did make a request for outdoor table service, both on the application here and on the UNO. However, there is no live entertainment at this premises.
I think there is a live entertainment.
Oh my God, I'm looking at sorry, I got 10 files here.
It's all right, collect yourself.
I know, don't
understand.
say that. My eyes went first. Yeah, it says, yeah, the UNO asks for live entertainment. And application shows live entertainment, DJ band, and outdoor table services. It's like,
It's hard to see, right?
it sure is. So did it not get advertised with outdoor table services?
I don't want to notice.
Okay, yeah, I don't see outdoor table service on the ad. We were going to ask you to approve them for outdoor table service pending an MOU. But if you, yeah, I mean, I see where there was a box checked, and then it looks like it might have been whited out on the outdoor tables, but definitely the live entertainment request before you today.
Can't you reach the MOU and come back and we'll add, and see if we'll add it?
Yeah, we're going to have to.
Okay.
Yep, we're going to have to. All right, so with respect to,
One of the questions about the live entertainment was whether it's going to continue as the same it's always been or something different.
so at this point, the applicants were only talking about doing karaoke, and which I think was done there, had been done there for years.
Okay.
They will meet with the community if they want to expand that live entertainment footprint. Okay, but yeah, but they don't, at this time, they just intend to do karaoke.
Okay. And,
Let me have Mr. Smith explain the process here.
okay, go ahead.
So what the concept is a food technology kitchen incubator. So it's a hybrid of a kitchen incubator and a restaurant. There will be a farm-to-table aspect to the restaurant, and there will be space, marketplace-style space, kind of a miniature version of our house on the first level, where companies could experiment, come up with new food and beverage brands, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic.
So it will change from time to time who's serving what? Is that what you're saying? different people will come in?
To a certain extent, yes. There will be some visiting chefs, celebrity chefs, and things of that nature from time to time. But also, community members can come in and utilize the space as well. And we've extended the invitation for the community association and board to meet there. They used to meet there before, so we want to definitely be good neighbors and be a part of the community. And we'll communicate with them as far as to outdoor seating and reach any MOU that's necessary.
Let me throw in something here, too. I think this place is located in a C1, and the license and the UNO from the prior occupant had live entertainment and dancing, but it didn't have outdoor tables. They didn't have outdoor tables, and that would require a BMZA hearing. And of course, this gentleman, just like every one of my clients, post-COVID, it's like, please, yeah, we want outdoor tables. So I went to do that and then found out we would need a BMZA hearing. So that's why I probably pulled that yes off of the application with white out, but didn't put no, because they will need, and maybe this will make the neighbors happy, they will need a BMZA hearing in order to get outdoor tables. So there will be, in this very room, another forum to discuss that in the very near future. That having been said, Mr. Smith, he works at the courthouse, clerk of the circuit court. He's the son of a former judge on the circuit court. And
Paul Smith's son?
I am Paul Smith's son.
Oh, tell your dad I said hello. I worked with him for many years.
Yes, sir.
So good, a great guy, and he understands. He's alcohol management certified. All of his servers will be, and very excited to serve the community.
Okay, let me ask these
Yep.
folks. So, can you come up to the microphone, please, and tell us your name? I'll come back to you.
Andrew Pinsky. I live at 1234 Whole Street, directly across from this establishment.
And are you a member of the Locust Point Civic Association?
Yes, I am, sir.
Are you there at this meeting?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Yes, I
and
was.
this lady?
My name is Julie Giordano. I live at 1323 Whole Street. I am a member of the Locust Point Civic Association, and I was at the meeting last night.
So, tell us why you're here today.
So, for a couple reasons, sir. We fully support having another community, another restaurant in the neighborhood. That building has been vacant since, I would say, before COVID. The previous owner was running of an establishment. However, it was unsuccessful. They were not open every day of the week prior to COVID. So that was a year before, and then since then it's been vacant. Currently, it's time for the community to have something in the building. It's vacant, like I said. We support a restaurant, a bar, and everything like that. The only thing that we're really concerned about is twofold. One, the outdoor seating. There's not a lot of room for parking already. We currently have other restaurants in the neighborhood. This is currently the way that our street operates. It's very tight. I personally have a dog that is not fully trained. I got him pre-COVID. And he doesn't do so well with other dogs, and I can't walk up and down my street.
I understand what we just said, though. That's not in front of us today.
I understand.
It's going to come another day after another hearing.
I'm giving some backstory.
Okay,
I apologize. And then the previous owners of the building, when they were operating, were not the best neighbors. And so we had extensive conversations, and unfortunately, a lot of the members of the community aren't here today. They are at a funeral right now. And I have a copy of the funeral document right here for you, sir.
I don't doubt that they're at a, I'm sorry they're at a funeral. but-
Miss Sophie was 100 years old. Her birthday was about 6 months ago. She passed away. She lived on the 1300 block of Whole Street, and unfortunately, they are all there at that and cannot be at this meeting today. So first, I would like a postponement to a further date when most of the community members can be here.
Well, what is their argument? Do they have something, you just said you supported it except for the outdoor table
So
service.
the other thing about it is the live music. So these gentlemen here came to the meeting last night and said they want to operate from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. during the week, midnight on the weekends, and that's late for us. The community there's a lot of children in the community. I mean, my neighbor has a 1 month old and another baby on the way. And the live music is going to be a problem. We understand the previous owners didn't really operate live music, and then they were also difficult to deal with. And also these gentlemen also said that it's not really in their business plan. So first, I question why they need the live music in the first place if we could pull that from them.
Well, is that something that you all could maybe talk About?
No, all right, first of all, I was not at the meeting last night. It was my daughter's birthday. Mr. Smith and other business people were there explaining the plan. What I don't think this gentleman understands is that if you pull your live entertainment.
Oh, I'm not asking you that. My question was, is it something you'd be willing to talk about putting some structures around? Maybe Matt could assist everybody and they could get together and talk about it.
I mean, at this point, they told the crowd last night, DJ and acoustic instruments. And I'm not DJ, I'm sorry, karaoke. An occasional acoustic instrument is my understanding. And as you just heard the letter from the president of the LPCA, that wasn't even on her radar. That wasn't even an issue of live entertainment. All she said was, we have an issue with outdoor seating. And now that issue has been resolved because it's not zoned for outdoor seating. But it is zoned for live entertainment by right, and we have something supported from LPCA membership indicating no opposition to that request. And again, it is reasonable. He is going to sit down with LPCA with regard to a future outdoor table request. And I mean, I imagine they would be happy to put those parameters in writing, but we're stating right now on the record and on the license, if necessary, that the live entertainment be limited to karaoke and an acoustic set.
Okay, and what hours?
We'll communicate with the community about the hours.
That was my question.
Closing time. 11 and 12. 11 p.m. and 12 a.m. on the weekends, on Friday and Saturday.
I understand what you're saying, but I think that's something that needs to be communicated with the community association by version of MOU. Is that a fair request?
Okay,
I wasn't at this meeting, so I don't know what came up.
well, would they get back together again is my
Yes.
question.
Yes, I'm sure they can get back together.
We'll be in constant communication.
And try to work something out, okay?
Yeah, I don't think it's an unreasonable request, and I think it needs to be in an
And
MOU.
if you want our help, Mr. Alkheimer will help you. That's his job, and he does a very good job of it, getting communities and licensees together, okay? So we'll ask him to assist.
In that regard, the Digital Bay Center Food and Technology Incubator, believe last night presented this to the Community Association. It's a simple security plan regarding cameras, regarding a security officer in the event that they're having any kind of event, that there will be Brown's Communications, there's going to be the security company with their contact information, email, and that they have a driver safety program for Uber and Lyft, and they will actually perform exit drills for staff and management for customer safety, live shooter exit drills. That's pretty intense.
Mr. Chairman, that was never presented to the community association.
Okay,
I mean, you don't have any objection to having security.
No, not at all. I'm just.
So I don't want to
We did represent that discussion.
Yeah, I didn't want to misrepresent. Sorry about that. This is something he brought for you today, just to let you know.
If you want to put it in the record, you can.
Okay, thank you very much.
I just want to make the point, Mr. Pinsky, you raised this issue of the previous owner not being particularly effective or a good operator, but we don't have any history of any issues from that owner. Did you ever engage with them or with the liquor board on it?
I did not personally.
Okay.
I was a full supporter of the previous owner. I was not one of the people that had difficulties with him. I told him last night, I loved the previous owner. I was there after closing time where I had a great relationship where the chef would make me dinner. I'm a CPA attorney, and I get home late at night after closing time, couldn't make myself dinner, was able to get after hours meals, after hour drink, and come back the next morning and make sure that I settled up with him and made everything kosher.
I just want to make the point, I do hope that both sides get together and work this out, but having no live entertainment is probably not, from my standpoint, going to fly. So I hope that both sides are reasonable on this, and I don't really understand the live entertainment opposition at all. And so I look forward to you guys getting together.
Where that comes from, and I'll just say this very briefly, is that was the noise factor and the time that the live entertainment stopped. And that was with the communities that live right next door to the side of where you are and the people right across the street. So I don't think it's the live entertainment itself. I think it has to do with the time that it ends and the decibel level of the live entertainment.
Well, let's hope you can talk about that more.
And that's
something
something.
else. Go ahead.
Yeah. Unless I missed it, what was the trade name of the establishment?
I don't think they currently have one, sir.
No, I mean,
It was JR.
Oh, JR?
And then it was Port
Public House.
Public
okay.
House.
Just, Mr. Chair, just for clarity, so now they have to repost it, or are they going to the BMGA?
They have to go there if they want to
They have
add
to
the
go to the
outdoor.
BMGA
If
first.
they want outdoor seating.
Okay.
So what we'd ask you to do is ask you to grant us a live entertainment, perhaps pending the hours as worked out in an MOU.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, we don't want to have to refile, we don't want to lose it,
I
number
understand.
one. It's so rare to have live entertainment in these residential neighborhoods. Somebody had to fight for that a long time ago, and that was an attraction when he decided to purchase this business, was having that, because that is expensive, extra legal fees, possibly rezoning, but possibly having to contact your councilman.
But it shouldn't be that hard to control karaoke unless you have some very loud singers. Keep Mr. Kadensky out of your place and
Yeah,
other people.
I promise.
All right. Then anything further?
No, I'm good.
Anything further? All right. Appreciate everybody's contributions. On the basis that of the materials contained in the application, the proffer from council, and all the testimony received, I'd vote to approve this application to transfer ownership of this BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license with continued live entertainment as described today to the board, with off-premises catering and delivery of alcoholic beverages. And I look forward to your getting together and trying to work out hours and things and decibel levels and issues like that. Okay?
Thank you.
Commissioners?
Based upon the application, the proffer, and the testimony, as well as the letters we've received in the record, I too would approve this application to transfer ownership with continuation of live entertainment, subject to an MOU that will be produced addressing hours and decibel levels with off-premise catering and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Yes. Based on the testimony and materials provided today, I also approve the application to transfer ownership with continuation of live entertainment, subject to a MOU, and also requesting off-premise catering and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Ms. Russell?
Medical exhibits for the record. Board
Sir.
exhibit number one,
Thank you.
7,
Thank you for
community
coming out.
letters
Good
and
to see you again,
oppositions.
Joy.
2,
Absolutely.
security plan.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, I was just sitting here thinking that I've seen your picture on a lot of Christmas cards over the years, but you don't dress as flashily as your dad. He would have
I work on
that. He was a red suit man sometimes. Okay, nice to see you. And good, thank you folks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Thank you.
I'll explain that. I'll call you.
1900 Alisana Street. This is a Class D beer, wine, and liquor license, an application to transfer ownership. Please come forward.
All right, thank you. Stephen W. Fogelman on behalf of the applicant, Ruben Romero.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Peter Previs. I represent Patty Sullivan, who is the personal representative of the estate of Mike Maraziti. Mike Maraziti was the 100% owner of ZT Associates LLC, which is the 55% owner of Lobo LLC, the transferor. Ms. Sullivan has been left out of the loop with regard to this transfer application. We are here to request a postponement so that we can have documentation. This may well be a fantastic deal and we would approve it, but at this point we don't have any knowledge. So we most respectfully request that this be postponed at this time.
And were you aware of this problem?
I was aware of trouble brewing about 10 days ago. What I understand is that there was a business partnership with Mr. Maraziti and Mr. James Hubbard, who's here. They were good friends. In fact, Mr. Hubbard was sort of a protege of Mr. Maraziti, who owned One-Eyed Mike's and then went in on Lobo with Mr. Hubbard. Lobo was a well-run place in Fells Point. Mr. Maraziti died, and this is a business between the two of them. It was my understanding that the estate, or that the Mr. Hubbard, the nearly half owner of Lobo LLC, was attempting to make a deal to buy the other half of the business from the estate. Apparently, there has been some lack of communication. Part of that could have been a COVID-related thing. This Mr. Mariziti died, I want to say, right before COVID, or the estate was open right before COVID. What I am here to do today is Mr. Romero has opened a restaurant in the site of the former Lobo under a management agreement signed by the licensees. He's filed a transfer application for that license. So we would respectfully oppose the request for postponement, but however, we'll be happy to note on the record that no transfer of this license will occur without all appropriate parties signing off and a sale of assets of the business to be consummated. But we're here in a ministerial function today to have a liquor license preliminarily approved. And of course, Mr. Previous knows this is only preliminary, but we also know there's a $600 filing fee, there's posting, there's notice, there's time, and in order to try not to waste an asset of the estate, we think it's the most prudent thing to allow this transfer hearing to go forward today.
Mr. Chairman, may I please?
Please.
I don't think staff or agency attorney was aware of this matter before it came before the board today?
That is correct.
Okay,
We were
just wanted to
totally
get that on the record,
uninformed.
Mr.
We were
Chair.
totally uninformed that the transfer
Sure.
application was put in.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Sullivan saw it on the liquor board's website, called the attorney for the estate, Mr. Kudensky. Mr. Kudensky and myself called Mr. Fogelman a week ago Friday and said, we're unaware of this, we need documentation. I thought it was our understanding that this matter would be postponed today.
How quickly can you get it resolved?
As soon as we get the documentation.
We hope, but I mean, on the other hand, it's taken years.
I understand, but when's our next?
States go like a
when is
snail's
it
pace.
2 weeks.
The board is in recess until August the 25th. After that, August the 8th. September
we
the
sit
8th.
on August 25th, is that what you say? Are we back on August 25th?
I thought you were on August.
Yes, we
All right, can you get it resolved by then?
No, I'm in New York on that day.
What's the next one after that?
September the 8th.
Can you do it by
I
September?
can. I'd be amazed if we got this consummated by September 8th, but crazier things has happened.
Well,
We
put
gotta-
some pressure on. We'll
we
set
gotta
it back
go to
in.
Opposing counsel
Let's
here,
set it
so-
back in for September 8th.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. It appears that the board's inclined to grant the postponement.
But not for long. So get this straightened out and come back,
Yes.
okay?
Yes, we will.
All
Thank
right,
you, Mr.
thanks.
Previous.
Thank you.
I couldn't help but think of your late brother when I was thinking about loud karaoke.
Hey, the best.
Yes, yes.
Bartenders? Yeah.
What was the
The
original
ba-
place?
Okay.
First he was in South Baltimore. What was that place called? Captain Larry's.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Airport Avenue.
And then, yeah, he used to go to Captain Larry's, and then he would go to Castaways.
The Baron of Boston
Pete from
Street.
Castaways just passed away.
Did he?
A month ago.
There's too much of that, but
Thank you.
1622 Eastern Avenue. This is a Class D beer, wine, and liquor license. An application to transfer ownership and location of a Class D beer, wine, and liquor license presently located at 1400 Key Highway to 1622 Eastern Avenue, requesting off-premise catering and delivery of alcoholic beverages. Please come forward.
Mr. Fogelman?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Stephen W. Fogelman on behalf of the applicant, Stephen Chu, who's standing to my right. This is, if we can go all the way back to case number 1 on the docket, this is like that. This is like Souvlaki up on 36th Street. It's an existing business. It served the community well. It's a popular place. And they finally say, hey, it's time to get a liquor license in here for customer amenities. In this case, it's not even a liquor license. It's a beer and wine license only. Right? And Mr. Chu has operated Ekeben since 2013.
Mine says beer, wine, and liquor.
Well, it's a D license. Maybe it's a, is it a, that's the problem with these Ds. They come in many forms and they don't give you an asterisk.
Mr. Chairman, this is a Class D beer, wine, and liquor license.
So it's a 6-day?
6-day license.
Yes, so it is a liquor license. I'm sorry, it is a liquor license. Thank you, Mr. Page. I stand corrected, but it's a 6-day BWL. And Mr. Chu will, this is coming from 1400 Key Highway. I believe Mr. Chu may have put the menu, we may have sent the menu in. It's a food-centric place. It's obviously 100% food now. It's simply a matter of Mr. Chu allowing his customers to be able to order a glass of wine with their meal.
Okay. And how long has he had the operation?
I think since 2013.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
We don't have any violations, so.
Well, right, but there hasn't been a liquor license. but as I can tell you, it is a place that is well loved by the Fells Point community, and I can't even imagine there being any problems whatsoever.
And will he get tip certified?
He will get tip certified, as will his servers. And just another note, he lives a block away from the restaurant, so he's clearly invested in the community, and any happenings would deleteriously impact him personally. So he will go out of his way to make sure that he maintains the peace.
Commissioners?
No questions.
I've heard amazing things about your restaurant. I've never been, though. But, yeah, I've heard amazing things, for what it's worth. It's a very unusual, it's not mainstream, but do you want to explain?
He needs to be sworn.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Is that okay, Mr.
Yeah,
Chairman?
sure, we have plenty of time.
Last case of the day.
Yeah.
Just raise your right hand, please.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your restaurant.
So we're like Baltimore's food truck to restaurant success story. But we started with the hot dog cart, started in the farmer's market. And then after 2 years, we opened up our own restaurant. Now we have 2 locations. We're opening up our 3rd one in Federal Hill, like Riverside area. Yeah, and we do steam bun sandwiches. We try to do something that's like very different. I come from like fine dining background, so what we wanted to do is take our training and put it in a package that was affordable to everybody in the community. And I think we're doing pretty okay.
Sounds great.
I heard a story, if I could, Mr. Chairman. I don't know if this is true. It just reminded me of this. That apparently, the story is that someone in Vermont or New Hampshire or New England was very sick and loved your food, and apparently you drove up there with the. Do I have that right?
Yeah. I mean, I think anybody in a position like mine would do the same thing, but.
I read that article too.
Yeah, I didn't realize it
Good
was.
work.
That's cool.
It was very kind.
No questions.
Okay. Thank you. On the basis of the materials contained in the application, the proffer from council, and the testimony received, as well as any exhibits received, I vote to approve the application to transfer ownership and location of this Class D beer, wine, and liquor license presently located at 1400 Key Highway to 1622 Eastern Avenue with off-premises catering and delivery of alcoholic beverages. Commissioners?
Based upon the application, the proffer, and the testimony, I too would grant the application to transfer ownership and location of this Class D license presently located at 1400 Key Highway to 1622 Eastern Avenue with off-premise catering and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Yes, based on the testimony and materials provided today, I also approve the application to transfer ownership and location of a Class D beer, wine, and liquor license presently located at 1400 Key Highway to 1622 Eastern Avenue, and also the request of off-premise catering and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Fogelman. Good luck, Mr. Chu. Good to see you. Mr. Page?
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, the board is in recess until August the 25th, 10:30 a.m. We are adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, commissioners and staff and all, and see you in a few weeks.